Okay, this is Lisa Stade of the Lisa Stade YouTube channel and the YouTube channel Hitler Obsessed and the VidChip channel Lisa Marie Stade. Now here with part 4 of my video series on Hitler Rise of Evil part 1. Where we left off is Hitler disillusioned his brains and crying into his pillow like just a broken down old man. Yes, he found out World War One ended, and he's now just has no hope for the future, I guess. But yeah, one of the interesting debate is that Hitler probably wasn't poisoned and blinded by muscle gas, but had shell shock. Another interesting theory, and a bit of a not so much, I guess, references on this, but there is a suggestion on Hitler's medical history that he could have had a form of encephalitis, which, for a bit of a tangent, my grandma had encephalitis, and that screwed her over completely in so many ways that I don't think Hitler probably could have survived that in, 1914. If my grandma couldn't survive that in 2013, so well, I don't think Hitler would be alive for whatever kind he went through. And encephalitis, yeah, that is actually has different categories of it. I don't remember the detail of which one it is that he had. It wasn't the one my grandma had. Trying to remember the actual name. But there was a little debate on that. And I want to make a more interesting video in the future. But I'm going to start with where we left off. Hitler just losing his mind. So the next scene in the film is of Hitler seeing the Soviet Revolution, of the Communist Revolution, of the Soviet Committee that was set up temporarily and then shut down because the Free Corps, which are militia groups of World War One soldiers that Hitler definitely was a part of. There was debate if Hitler was a part of the Communist Soviet also, and of his war crimes during the Free Corps Civil War and fighting throughout Germany to stop communism, because yes, Munich did go through a communistic little dictatorship by another guy who led a, I guess you call it a coup d'etat here in America. In Germany, they call it a putsch. So I guess here in America, if you want to say, in Germany, I guess you wouldn't call the 2001 January Capitol coup d'etat, or riots, I guess you call it. Well, I guess you call it the coup d'etat, or uprising, or whatever I guess it's called now. But in Germany, I guess you would call it, the Capitol Washington DC putsch, which is the German reference. Uh, It was set up by another guy, I'm trying to remember his name, who was a communist and tried to set up a communistic Soviet little socialist, little independent Munich, and that failed and was crushed by the Free Corps. And the next scene is of Hitler visiting this local Munich tavern or whatever that does hold in the back room. I don't remember the name of it now. I might have to pull out the old Mein Kampf because I have to now pronounce and remember that dull thing. But that place was the actual tavern that had in a back room what would become the Nazi Party, but at the time was owned by another guy that was it Keitel or Edward or whatever? Or I'm trying to think the name of the actual guy of the Nazi Party. I honestly want to avoid references on this point of actual characters' names. But it was started by, it was first called the German Workers' Party before Hitler turned up as a informant for the German military of this new group to see if it's communist or if it's a part of a right-wing militia that could help Germany fight communism, because they were all scared of, the the communists back then. A lot of people that way, even in America, because they had the red scale. Fearful that their neighbor was a communist, or back then they were called a pinko, commie or whatever. They were red. So they had the that was before the McCarthy era in the US. That was the red scale era of the 1920s and stuff. So this group that was called the German Workers' Party was founded by two guys. One of them that had a secret society that he was a part of called the Thule Society. That was one of those little alien Nordic white supremacy kind of. I don't want to throw that word white supremacy around to describe this, but it was white supremacist. It was very into this Nordic alien master race eugenic stuff that was a part of. And it was a secret society into like mysticism and esoteric occultic stuff that the German Workers' Party to one of these leaders was supposed to be like, a party for the commoners so that they can enjoy the Soul Society's same benefits as just a little party meeting for the peons, the plebs, the little guy that wasn't part of the elites, I guess. Some debate about if Hitler was even a part of the Thule or the Brill. That's part of a lot more conspiracy circles that I don't like to go into so much because it just gets weird and creepy and QAnon-y and weird. Just insane. But the other guy was also a guy that worked at the railroads too. And they got together and they decided to set up this party that was the German Workers' Party that Hitler would turn up at one meeting. One other guy who was professor was talking about interest slavery. Yes, the reference in the movie there is a reference to what actually happened in the German Workers' Party and in Mein Kampf. It's referenced it, like I've said so many times before. Throughout this whole film, most of the characters don't look like anyone. Hitler somehow doesn't seem to like age past 20, even though this would be around Hitler being 29 or 30. I'm 31. I'm near 32. And in the movie, Hitler doesn't age past at 20, and this is supposed to be around when Hitler's 29 or 30. And in the movie, he looks younger than I do. I usually am referred to by other people as looking like I'm 20 or 22. Maybe actually, maybe they made him look a bit too young. I don't know if he really looked as young as those, but people would like to say about me. Actually, that's a nice compliment. 31-year-old looking like 20 or 22. Good compliment. Maybe not good for Hitler. A little bit of a tangent there to say. Oh my gosh. But my nose. Oh my gosh. That's gonna be it. I swear. That's embarrassing. Okay, so Hitler is listening to the actual lecture of this guy, and eventually calls him out. And yes, in the actual history, Hitler does call out this guy and just vex him so much in speaking. And eventually, the two leaders of German Workers' Party find out, this is a good guy. Let's get him and let's hand him a pamphlet. Get him suckered in. It's gonna help our party grow. Yeah, they really don't know what they're letting into, and they most likely in the history regret it. Oh, and they end up losing their jobs too, which actually does happen in the movie. One of them actually, I think, dies in the Night of Long Knives. It is a later on historical event that will turn up in this movie in part 2 of the movie. And you have the other guy who actually just loses his job, and I guess he flees. Also, during the Night of Long Knives. But Hitler was offered this pamphlet, and he's reading it while he's feeding the mice in his military barracks. He's staying up because he does after World War I, stay as long as he can of his military service for Germany as a soldier, because really he doesn't know what to do afterwards. His life is pretty much on the streets as a Soviet artist. Yeah, think of that. Not much future. If you were probably in issues, you probably would stay as long as you could in your military service before you had to now just be uh, sent to pasture, I guess to say, and told to leave. Because later on Hitler does join the Nazi party and decides why does that. Why is reading the pamphlet to join them. They're not the Nazi party, but it's German Workers' Party, and he's given his membership card, and so he actually starts doing the campaigns, and in the movie he does design the Nazi flag. There is, yes, I think Hitler did definitely design Nazi flag. That is a lot of historical accuracy. He did design the party standards. So you know those banners that you probably see pictures of Nazi SA stormtroopers using. He did most likely in the movie recruit uh, the Stryker brothers. There was it Streisel brothers there. There were two members also. One of them would die in long knives, and one of them would escape to Germany after they split up from Hitler, and he did ruthlessly kill them. And he does in the movie recruit on his farm to be a part of the stormtroopers there. But in the movie, later on, Hitler does change his mustache from the Kaiser Wilhelm mustache I mentioned while looking in the mirror because he wanted to have a mustache that looked something that would grab people's attention. And oh, baby, that thing did, because no one ever used it anymore after Adolf Hitler died. That mustache has been tarnished, which is the toothbrush mustache. And the scene is Hitler just trims his own thing, and it's the mustache, well, toothbrush mustache Hitler is famous for having. Uh, like that's one of the theories of that mustache. There is actual historical debate on that mustache. Kid you not. The community of us history buffs are just a piece of work, I guess. So I'm gonna say this is Lisa Stade, and thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe. Like this video. Leave a comment on this video on my YouTube channel. Donate to my Patreon and PayPal, or well, not Patreon, PayPal. Patreon and subscribe still. Hit the notification bell. Uh, visit my BitChute channel, please stay. That's one word. I'm not gonna mention over one again for them to time. Uh, and subscribe to that if you want. You can visit my Facebook channel. And leave a comment, leave a friend request. Definitely share these videos so I can definitely get 1,000 subscribers to YouTube. And a 400,000 public watch hours so I can get monetized, and then I can next set the goal to the 100,000 subscribers I need to get that nice plaque as a YouTuber here. Just to let you know, this video and all of the other videos connected to Hitler Rise of Evil and anything to do with Hitler is just for educational purposes. Don't support the guy at all. This is just a review on a movie that I find probably is definitely not historically accurate. I'm trying to actually I'm going as fast as I can about that thing. It does take a long time, this movie. 2 parts, and it's dragging me through it, kicking and screaming. Bye now!